Welcome to 10-minute Pilates. We are working on the lower body, working on our hip mobility and strength. So we're going to use a ball. So we're going to start off down on our back, having the ball quite close by. So focusing on hip mobility and strength. Obviously, we're working the whole body as always, but focusing on those hips. So they have the ball close by. Come down onto your back, have your knees bent, feet flat. Make sure the feet are about hip width apart, so they're not too close, not too far apart, and they're not too close to your pelvis either. So you want to have the thighs to about a 45-degree angle to the floor, so that allows the pelvis to relax and just kind of like jiggle, wiggle the pelvis side to side a little bit. Notice how that feels. Tuck and tilt a little bit to loosen up your back. Hey, Miss Lulu. Then find that neutral spine. So allow your pelvis to relax. Remember your powerhouse, your rectangle shape. Sorry, baby, didn't mean to bop you in the face. Your rectangle shape. And draw your belly button in towards the spine, aiming for about a 5 or 6 out of 10. So if 10 is the tightest, you can pull it in, aim for about 5 or 6. Same with the pelvic floor muscles. Draw the pelvic floor muscles in and up, again aiming for about a 5 or 6 out of 10. And imagine you've got a resistance band around your ribs that you're just pulling it tight to engage those oblique muscles. We breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you breathe in, feel your rib cage expanding. As you breathe out, really scoop the belly button in. And just keep your awareness on your neutral spine. So you may have a gap under your lower back. You may have a big gap. You have a small gap. You have hardly any gap. If you do have a gap there, don't try and flatten it because that's your neutral spine. So you're just going to rest one hand. So I'm resting my right hand on my belly. I'm spreading my fingers out. And I want to try and keep the pelvis as still as possible. So no arching through the back. We're just going to start off very simply, breathing in. Breathe out, bring the right knee up. Then float the left knee up, just in line with hips. So not too far forward, just in line with the hips. Then inhale, lower the right foot down, left foot down. Now you should feel your tummy muscles working underneath that hand. So exhale, right knee, left knee. Inhale, right, left. Again, exhale, right, left. Inhale, right, left. Then we're going to lead with the left leg. So exhale, left, right, inhale, left, right. So we're just learning to move the legs whilst keeping the spine in its neutral position. And working the muscles a little bit around the hips as well. This time we're going to keep the knees here and we're going to reverse it. So exhale, lightly lower the foot to the floor. Inhale back, exhale other foot. And inhale back. So little toe taps. Again, notice the back wants to arch. It wants to kind of pull away from the floor. And your job is to keep it as still as possible. Then lower both feet down to the floor and bring your hands onto your hips. So you want to keep the hips nice and still, so no rocking side to side. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, just open one knee out to the side. So we're trying to avoid tipping like that. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, other knee. Rolling it out. And bring it back. So it looks really simple, but our tendency is to kind of do that kind of thing and just drop to one side like that, which we don't want to do. We want to keep the body as still as possible as we open the leg out. So again, we're learning to move the legs whilst keeping the pelvis still. If you here, inhale, exhale, float the knees up. We can do the same thing, but with the legs in this position. So you're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, open one leg out to the side, pause. And inhale, bring it back. Same on the other side. Exhale, open, pause, and inhale back. So again, you're keeping an eye out for any slight tilting. So as you open one leg, the other leg stays still. So we're working both sides. This time we're going to do 3 on this side. So you're going to exhale, open, inhale back, and again, exhale, open, inhale back, 1 more. So nice and slow and controlled. Again, keeping the pelvis still. And same on the other side, exhale, open, and inhale back. So again, it's one of those exercises that looks really easy, but it's about keeping everything else as still as possible. And release and float the knees, feet down to the floor. Now we're going to focus on like a 3/4 circle. If we imagine that that's your globe, we're going to do 3/4 of that circle. So we're going to start off floating the left knee. I'll do the left knee because it's closest to you. So we open it out to the side as we just did. We bring it almost down to the floor, and then we bring it around and back to where we started. So we inhale, open, down, exhale, around and back. And again, the aim is to keep everything else totally still. So we're keeping the pelvis totally still. As we do that, we're going to reverse it. So we're going to go almost to the floor, open, around and back. Inhale down, exhale around and back. Breathing in and out and in and out. Then pop that foot down onto the floor. Float the other leg up. Again, open that knee out to the side. Lower it down as if you're tapping the floor. Circle around and back. Breathe in and out. So again, make sure there's no lifting at all, no tipping through that side. You're keeping both butt cheeks on the floor. Keep drawing the belly button in towards the spine. Then reverse it down almost to the floor, around and back. So again, nice and slow and controlled. So some exercises in Pilates we do kind of dynamically, and some we want to do uber slow and controlled. And pop the foot down onto the floor. Now we're going to create a little bit of a contraction on one side of the body. So you're going to take your ball, and this time you're going to float the right knee up, and you're going to press the ball between your right hand and your right knee. So imagine you're trying to bring the knee forward, and then with the right hand, imagine you're pressing it away. Keep the other hand, left hand on the hip. Bring that left knee up. So we can do that circle with that left knee whilst keeping the contraction on the right side. So we open the knee out, down towards the floor. Exhale around and back. So we're challenging ourselves a little bit more now because we've got that contraction going on the other side. Then reverse it. So down towards the floor, out, around. Make sure you don't start rushing, because quite often when things get a little bit challenging, we tend to try and rush through it, right? But we don't want to do that. We want to keep everything nice and slow and controlled. Then pop that foot down and release. Take a breath. And switch hands. So we're going to press the ball between, so you're pushing into the knee, you're pushing the knee towards you, holding that ball there, then float the right knee up. So inhale, open the knee out to the side, lower it down towards the floor, exhale around and back. Breathing in and out. So if you start to shake somewhere, that's okay. I'm shaking as well. So it's all good. Change direction, down, around, back to center. Breathe in and out and in and out and release. Pop the ball down. Come over onto your side to begin. Stretch your body out into a nice straight line. Rest your head on your arm. Just bend the underneath knee, but keeping the legs together. Now, just notice how when you relax, the rib cage drops towards the floor, like so, and then stretch that top hip away. So you're creating a little bit of space underneath you. Keep the abs braced. Flex that top foot. And we're just going to lift and lower. Now the tendency here is to kind of collapse the sideways as you do that. So you're going to keep lifting the underneath waist away from the floor as you lift. So it's not about how high you're lifting. It's about keeping this gap underneath you. Exhale up. Inhale down. So keep stretching that top waist nice and long. Last 2. And 1. Hold it here, little tiny pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Now you can either stay here or you can bend the knees, press into your hand and come up onto your elbow. So your elbows underneath your shoulder. Again, stretch the top leg away. Now just kind of like relax down into the floor. This is what you don't want. Press away. Again, think of lifting this side waist, keeping it lifted. Again, just a little lift and flex that foot as you lift. So working the outer hips and glutes. Exhale up. Inhale down. I can feel my bum muscles and outer thigh muscles working. 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Either stay here or lift up. So you're into like a side plank. Again, lift that top leg. You can reach the top arm up. Make sure the elbow rather, is underneath your shoulder. Again, a little lift and lower. Lift and lower. So keeping the rest of the body as still as you can. We've got 4. Flex that foot. 3. Keep the side waist away from the floor. 2. Hold up on 1, hold, and release, lower down, bend your knees, lift yourself up, bring the feet out and around, and come on to the other side. So standing up, head on arm, stretch body out, bend underneath leg. Again, notice how when I'm relaxed, my ribs drop down. So stretch the top waist away. So if you're trying to keep that gap underneath you, flex the top foot. Just do a little lift and lower. So often we get fixated on how high we can lift. And I see people doing that kind of thing, swinging around. So focus on keeping this distance between your ribs and the floor. Keep it at that set distance, so nothing else moves. And let's do some little pulses. I can't finish it on the other side, not we'll do it here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Again, you can stay and repeat this level, or you can bend the knee, come up onto your elbow, then stretch that leg out again. Again, lifting away from the floor. So you're pressing down into this arm, lift away. Again, the lift and lower. So here we've got a slightly more challenge because again, as you lift, the tendency is to collapse like that. So you've got to try and keep everything as still as possible. So imagine lifting the side waist away from the floor. Again, feel it around your hips and glutes. There's going to be 2 more. And release again. You can stay and repeat this one, or you can lift up. Again, if you need to adjust that elbow, do so. Keep lifting away from the floor. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. So you're working both legs. You'll feel it in your underneath leg as well as the leg that you're lifting. Push through that heel. 4, 3, 2, hold on 1, hold it, and release. Awesome. Come up, bring the legs out in front, bring your feet together, clasp hold of your feet. Inhale, lift and open the chest. Exhale, stretch over your toes or in the direction of your toes. And inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, stretch. Awesome. Release. Give yourself a round of applause. Oh, hopefully you'll feel the outer hips and glutes. Well done. Fantastic. Enjoy the rest of your day. Cut, cut.